Hello, I'm Jonathan Bowman-Perks, and welcome back to my favorite time of the week, where I'm sharing some survive and thrive inspiring leadership tips. I'm very lucky with some of the leaders that I'm working with and virtually having our coaching sessions with them and their teams, where I'm getting some real-time issues that they need resolving and real-time practical things that they find work. So what have I found has been the things they want to know about, and this is what's going to be coming up in the future sessions I'm going to be doing here on LinkedIn for you to all benefit from this. First thing is habit and routine. Like this morning, got out, had a run, good weather, keeping some kind of routine each day. I can talk about habits and routines. I can do a session on Stoical philosophy and how it will help us through these very difficult times, the wisdom from 2,000 years ago and how it's relevant for us. Mindfulness-based stress reduction, Jon Kabat-Zinn and his wisdom about stress and change and all the kind of things that are going on, that ways to handle that. Another topic that I'll be doing in the future will be about mental health, a topic dear to my heart. Then focus, deep work and focus. And then these are the best of times and the worst of times. That crisis in Chinese has two symbols. One is danger and the other is opportunity. So you need to, in these bad times when, like I'm finding that things are much quieter than before, it's in these bad times that you prepare for the good times. And when you're going to come out of that, you must prepare now for what's coming. The Inspiring Leadership Compass gives us lovely 8 components that I will be using in future of some of the themes. So MQ, your values, your beliefs, what you will and won't do in these times and in future times. But people have got to be clear whether they can trust you, whether you are trustworthy, worthy of trust. To be a trusted advisor is crucial in these times. Second area of the 8 is PQ, meaning and purpose. Purpose quotient, the Q being quotient. About if you have meaningful work that you or the people who are working for you are doing, that makes such a difference when morale is down and people are anxious and they've been locked away in their homes for weeks, if not months. IQ, wisdom, judgment, the kind of meetings that you do, the virtual meetings. This is leadership coaching in a digital age. And we are going to experience what they call a pivot point in society and in life with what's going on at the moment. Things will never be the same after this, and there'll be a different way of working. We'll do a lot more home working like this. This is going to be the way. Things will be a lot more virtual. We still need to meet humans, but be a lot more virtual. EQ, managing your own emotions, understanding and managing them and using them effectively, understanding others and managing those too, and then reading the reality of the situation. RQ, resilience, coping with adversity and all that goes on, and making sure that you limit the amount of digital overload that you get and the social media where you could get completely depressed if you constantly are taking this in. You need to be wise enough, so don't be the eternal optimist thinking things will always be great. And there was the story about in the time, I think it was in the Korean War, when people were taken prisoner and they were with the Chinese for a long time as prisoners. And those who were super optimistic and said, we'll be home by Christmas, we'll be released by Christmas. That was one group. And then another group went, be nice to be home by Christmas, but realistically this may take a few years and I'll prepare for that. And then there's others who think we're never gonna make it, we're gonna die. And they did actually wither and die, some of those people in captivity, or took their own lives when things were bad. So that's one side, the real deeply pessimistic. Then the other side, which is the super optimistic, if you can be over optimistic and think, oh, it'll be over by Christmas. When they got to Christmas, it wasn't. Then, oh, it'll be Easter. Then it wasn't Easter. And then they got more and more depressed until they also got really, really down to the point of giving up. Whereas the realistic optimist sees things as prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. So that's all about resilience and adversity. Your brand and reputation. In these tough times, you've got to keep your brand and reputation out there so people know that you're a trusted person that they can work with and that you deliver on what you say you're going to deliver. You may not have as much work now as you had before. Many of you may lose your jobs and have to find a new job. But you've got to be trusted and you've got to build your brand and your reputation. Don't give up on that. And finally, of the 8 elements, LQ, legacy, leaving things better than you found them, not only just in your day job, But wasn't that wonderful that I think the NHS in the UK wanted 250,000 volunteers, and they've already filled that. People have come forward in an amazing way to support our very impressive health professionals. And all around the world, do look to those health professionals. They're doing incredible work. So leave a legacy, not only in your lifetime, but in your community. Can you give back? Can you help neighbors and others who can't get out if they're old and infirm on an extreme risk register? So those are some of the kind of things that I'm going to be talking about in future sessions. Also, ebooks. My wife Lee and I wrote a top tip, I guess, book. Top tips for inspiring leaders. It's on Amazon, of course. You can have that, but we've done ebook version of each of the chapters. So if you would like one of those chapters, let us know which of the chapters. I'd send you just one. Don't be greedy. Don't take all the loo rolls. Just take one. And I'll be happy to send to you those top tips in an easy readable ebook that has just the main essence of whether it be health and well-being, or whether it be emotional intelligence or resilience. Let me know. Drop me your details on LinkedIn. Give me your email and I will email it to you. So that's my gift to you. And I just want to talk about one of the elements of the compass just now, briefly, in the last couple of minutes, which is IQ, wisdom and judgment, and the way you run meetings. Team morale and keeping up team morale is really key, because when you're also virtual, people need that contact. They need that social interaction. But make sure you keep the sense of team. So have the virtual lunch with your team where you're not talking work, but you meet socially for perhaps half an hour. Have the diagram where everybody sits, go round so everybody has the chance to speak. Last night we met with a good friend of ours, Simon Hutchinson, and his wife Sandra, and Lee and I sat down and we had a split video on the app. They were on the top side, we were on the bottom, and we had drinks together for about 2 hours. Lovely glass of red wine, lots of laughter, lots of fun. Social connection is really key. Find ways of doing that. Do it more. And do it with your family and your children, relations who are isolated and on their own. The next thing is brand. Your brand, your reputation is key. So like General Stanley McChrystal, it was McRaven. Admiral McRaven said, first make your bed. Get up, make your bed, get out, do an activity, keep fit, keep healthy. I'm 58, so I do 58 press-ups each morning in groups of 10, but that's my way of keeping fit and keeping healthy. But don't be gungy. Put on a clean new shirt, dress properly. Don't go wandering around in your pajamas. Have some personal pride so you keep your own self-morale up. Because if you go gungy and just live like a tramp for the next few months, because this could go on for, who knows, 12 months, I don't know, 18 months. Who has an even guess? No one has a clue. But prepare for the long term and live each day positively. The next thing is, so that's about your brand and your reputation. Innovation from your team. Get people to share ideas. They've got lots of genius ideas in your team. Tap into their ideas. Give everybody a turn on the calls to speak. Have their own minute where they can share their freshest thinking. Give them an idea in advance. What should we do about this? How do we do that? Let them think about it. 10-10 meetings. You might have these one-to-one calls with some of your team. You each have 10 minutes. And in their 10 minutes, what do you want to think about? What are your thoughts? And you shut up and listen to them. Let them have an undisturbed 10 minutes. And then time for you to speak about what's going on for you. So it's equality. That's very important. We talked before on the previous video about this drawing a circle, send it out to everybody so they know where they sit, say who'd like to begin, we'll go to their right or go to their left. And you've got to get to a point with your meetings where it's decision, action, next step, who's accountable, delivery deadline. Dan's ad, I call that one. Wisdom Council, where people bring all their live issues to the group and you hear what all their key live issue is that's keeping them awake at night, and the others share their wisdom on how to solve that. Don't tell them how to do it, but everybody gets the turn to do that. Once a week, you might have a 40-minute Wisdom Council. Mental health is very important. Keep that going now. Look after purpose and make sure everybody's clear on the mission and what you're doing and your vision for the future and how you're going to adapt. And also, finally, appreciate people. What I appreciate is you as my LinkedIn group who give thumbs up and appreciation. I appreciate the fact you're so supportive. So thanks, keep it going, and I'll give you the wisdom that I am learning from others.